Hi guys, this is Connie with Baby Bear. Here back for more Connie Reads Brian's Return. We are now on chapter 12, so hopefully someone won't be too distracting. Dear Caleb, today I saw a place that was so beautiful that I don't even think Shakespeare could describe it. The map showed a series of small lakes covering perhaps 30 miles. In between, from lake to lake, there appeared to be a meandering river, all of it equally divided so that the lake might be 3 or 4 miles long. Then the river to the next lake, another 3 or 4 miles. But Brian was to find that the map wasn't accurate. Yeah. He awakened just after dawn, when the sun began to warm the tent. The sky was cloudless. He flipped the canoe, and when he went to lower his packs, he saw the bear tracks. One bear, medium size. It had come in the night so quietly that Brian hadn't heard it. Though he had slept so soundly, the bear could have been tipping garbage cans. It had done no damage. The tracks went by the fire, then moved to where he'd buried the fish leftovers. The bear had dug them up and eaten them. It had moved to the tent, apparently looked in on him, and then gone to the packs. Brian could see that it had tried to stand and reach them. There were claw marks on the tree, but the bear had never figured out the rope holding the packs and had gone off without doing anything destructive. "Company," he said, and I didn't even wake up. He slid the canoe into the water at the edge of the lake and loaded all his gear, again tying everything in. He took time to gather some bits of wood and leaves for a smudge in the can. Then jumped in. It was still early, but already warm, and he quickly stripped down to shorts. He kept the map in its clear plastic bag jammed beneath a rope in front of him. He knelt to paddle instead of sitting on the small seat because it felt more stable. He was not as confident in the canoe as he wished to be. He'd taken it to a small lake near home to practice and rented canoes in other places, but the ease with which the dough had flipped him made him very conscious of the fact that he had much to learn. By staying low and on his knees, he had much more control. He sat toward the rear with the load tied in slightly forward of the middle, which kept the canoe nearly level and easy to steer and control. He studied the map as he paddled. He had only a mile to go in the present lake, and then he would enter the river. He had the compass in one of the packs, but didn't truly need it. The lakes were well drawn on the map, and he could see where the river flowed out, except that it wasn't a river. Brian worked easily to the end of the lake, but when he came to the point where the river was supposed to flow out, he found that there was no current. Instead of a series of different lakes connected by small rivers, the land was level and flat. It was all just one long lake, and the very narrow portions that showed on the map as rivers really were long, tranquil ponds. They were so narrow that the trees had grown together over them, and Brian found himself paddling through a green wonderland. The water was absolutely still beneath the trees. He could see his reflection ahead of him and off to the side. So distinct it was as if he were gliding over a mirror, and the water was clear. On both edges were lily-pad forests, and beneath them he could see where schools of panfish lay hidden. Inside of half an hour he saw a muskie that had to be 30 or 40 pounds hunting the edges of the pads. Overhead the trees were filled with birds, and they sang all at the same time. The sound blended into a kind of music, and Brian found himself humming with it as he paddled. Halfway through the first of the long covered passageways, he came upon a cow moose. She was well off to the side and had her head completely under water, pulling at lily pad roots. As Brian came up on her, gliding silently, She raised her head suddenly and seemed to stare directly at him. Brian had run into difficulties in the past with moose. He thought they were insane. He had been attacked by them twice. He laid the paddle down softly and took up his bow. He had kept one of the broadheads lying across the pack by the bow. Moving slowly, he fitted the arrow to the string, so if need be, he could grab the bow and get at least one arrow into the moose if she charged. He passed not 20 feet from her, but all she did was keep chewing on the root, water dripping in golden drops from her muzzle, breaking the surface like jewels. It was as though she hadn't seen him, and perhaps she hadn't. Moose, he had read, had terrible eyesight, and she may have thought he was merely a log drifting by. Before he had passed by, she had put her head beneath the surface again, looking for more roots. Brian went back to studying beauty. Let's try that sentence again. Brian went back to studying beauty. All that day he felt as if he were in a painting, a beautiful private diorama. He worked through a sheltered narrow lagoon and then out into the open to cross a small lake, and then back under the canopy through the still water. He had never had a day pass so quickly nor so beautifully, and he nearly forgot that he had to find a camp and get some food before dark. He wasn't sick of boiled fish and rice yet, so in the late afternoon he took time to move back along the lily pads and drop the hook over. He caught a large sunfish immediately, again on a bare hook, and took 3 more small ones, dropping them all over the side using a short piece of nylon rope as a stringer, running the nylon through their gills and out their mouths. He took his time looking for a campsite and picked one on a flat area 5 or 6 feet above the surface of the lake. It was a clearing about 20 yards across. There were many such clearings, probably all made by beaver cutting down the small trees years before, allowing the grass to take over. Brian pulled the canoe well up onto the grass and for no real reason tied a piece of line from the boat's bow to a tree. Or boat's bow to a tree. Later he would wonder at this bit of foresight. He had not done it the night before, and since this site was much higher from the water, he couldn't have thought he'd needed to secure the canoe here. The storm hit in the middle of the night. And that, I believe, is the end of chapter 12. Yep. Be careful with that and enjoy, please and thank you, and I will see you for the next chapter. Bye.